Hello everyone, Auto Champ Wanderland over here, and right next to me is the 2025 Mitsubishi L200. Now, this is a very interesting moment, guys, but before I go further, I want to let you all know that Mitsubishi does not officially sell this in Europe, but I had a chance of coming across one just recently. It brings me down to a very big question about the Mitsubishi L200. Is this a big revolution, everyone? Let's talk about it. Make sure to subscribe and watch this video till the end, because I will be expressing my perspective of this all-new Mitsubishi L200. Just recently, Mitsubishi joined the Nissan-Renault alliance. Now, I have very mixed feelings about this. Now, this Mitsubishi L200 right here is directly related to the Nissan Navara. They share the same platform. So not surprisingly, the interior also has a similar layout to the Nissan Navara. Now, when it comes to the exterior design, it's a very big revolution because the Mitsubishi L200, for the longest time I've known it, had always this round edge design to it, especially on the side, including the generations from the 20th century. They were always round edged. But this time, they've gone sharp edged just about everywhere. In fact, some people have gone as far as saying that this is a Japanese Volkswagen Amarok, which is a very nice one, guys. A very nice joke right there. But on a serious note, I'm actually also surprised Mitsubishi went down this path. There's something about the front design that strongly reminds me of the second generation Mitsubishi Pajero. That's probably because of the rectangular grille you get right here. And then looking towards the side, we see the revolution take place, everyone. It's all sharp edged. There's some references to the previous generation Mitsubishi L200, thanks to this angle you see over here. But then towards the rear from this angle, it's true that it does seem to look more like the Volkswagen Amarok than any previous generation Mitsubishi L200. Although it is fair that in the 1980s and in the 90s, Mitsubishi did have a sharp rear light like this. But I don't really know if they did this deliberately to imitate its previous generations, or perhaps they drew inspiration from another competitor. Nice wheels you get over here. They kind of remind me of what I used to see on Mitsubishi Pajeros and L200s of the 90s. Now, this over here is supposed to be an E-deck bed. So E-deck bed is when you usually have a door like this for the rear, whereas there are some pickups that would actually have a latch which you have to pull open and then only this slides down, and they also have some tether points onto the side. With this Mitsubishi L200 though, there's something very unique. It's a bit like a J-deck bed in the sense you get tether points onto the side. So you can transport goods, but this is something you will never see, or perhaps rarely see, in the EU market. And this is why I told you guys that this is a tropicalized vehicle. So it's not really going to be sold here in Europe, at least not here in Belgium. It's a bit of a pity, if I'm being honest, because this is too good. I think this is awesome for Belgium. I think I can definitely confirm we need this in the countryside. Approaching the interior, you will notice that the interior is slightly different to what we've seen on Euro spec cars. This vehicle is tropicalized, and so this kind of interior is something you will rarely see in the EU market. Maybe there's some base version pickup manufacturers that offer this, but yeah, this is something very rare. So you get this manual transmission, and you get almost like literally no trim inside except this piano black that's onto this radio system above. This is good. Now, one thing I really like about Mitsubishi is how they maintain some standards. Like the steering wheel has this nice grip onto the side, which is good. It's especially for when your hands are sweaty someday. Now, the layout of this area, you can tell that it shares the same platform as the Nissan Navara, because the air conditioning is right here, and then just above you have the what would be the infotainment system, but in this case it's the radio. So it's very interesting how Mitsubishi's gone about this, and well, more like Mitsubishi, Renault, Nissan. I still can't really understand why they needed to have an alliance with these guys, but then they have their own explanations. Now, here's something interesting. Right here you get a traditional four-wheel drive system. So two-wheel drive, high range, four-wheel drive, you get two-wheel drive, then you get four-wheel drive high range, then four-wheel drive low range. But if you get the upper spec Mitsubishi L200, that's where you get Mitsubishi's Super Select four-wheel drive system. Now that is just, it's really encouraging you to go upper spec, huh? When it comes to the interior design, it's all sharp edge, actually. There's almost no reference to previous generation Mitsubishi L200s. In fact, this is something very different to the previous generation, the opposite, because the previous generation was all round edge and everything, whereas this bad boy is all sharp edge. Maybe, I'm saying maybe, it's a reference to the Mitsubishi Pajero of the 90s, because I remember that Pajero did have some squarish interior. But let me know, what are your thoughts, guys? So here's my conclusion of the Mitsubishi L200, everyone. I have to say that it is a big step ahead from the previous generation. It looks serious, it looks desirable, it looks interesting from various angles, and in fact this time it does scream history, everyone. It screams references to ancient Mitsubishi Pajero models of the 90s in particular. But then, if I'm being honest, on the other side of the scale, I feel like it's missing something. What they used to do until the last generation was great, in my opinion. It was great, at least it was all Mitsubishi's work. Looking at this Mitsubishi L200 though, it was quite obvious from the beginning that it was related to the Nissan Navara. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below sharing your thoughts of the Mitsubishi L200 2025, and what are your thoughts of this bad boy compared to other pickups in this segment.